Hello everybody and thank you for joining me. This is Ciara from Ciara T Designs and today I have some alcohol inked mischievous cat ATCs to share with you. So let's jump right in. So I have a piece of 5x7 Yupo paper here and this is kind of my preferred way to make ATCs recently just because I like to make a couple when I'm sitting down to do them. And of course, if you use a 5x7 piece of cardstock or Yupo or whatever you want to use, you can cut it into 4 because the only rule to an artist trading card, an ATC, is that they have to be 2.5 by 3.5 inches. So of course, your 5x7 cardstock cuts down to perfectly 4 2.5 by 3.5 inch pieces. So this is kind of my preferred thing lately. I kind of like to make a couple at a time just because I love to trade them. So it's nice to have some on hand when someone's looking for a trade, or sometimes I send them to pen pals, that kind of thing, just for fun. So I like to have a few on hand made at a time. So you guys saw that I started with some blending solution and I liberally covered the back with it to make some really good movement in my colors. And I have 4 colors here. 3 of them are pearls and 1 is just an alcohol ink. So I have Opulent, Deception, and Scorch. Those are 3 pearl colors. And then I have Wild Plum, which is just a regular ink color. And I had a cat hair in there. You guys know that the cats do hang out with me. There's actually one of my kittens laying on the desk right now as I do my voiceover. So I have to kind of work over top of them, but I love it. So it works for me. And this whole project is really kind of like my love of cats. I kind of thought that this really looked like a galaxy kind of style background. Now, again, you could, of course, add some darkness to it. I didn't want to, just because I loved the vibrant colors. I love vibrant colors. But you could have to give it more of a galaxy effect. I chose not to. I chose to just leave it as is and just have them be these really stunning, vibrant colored backgrounds. So that's kind of what I aimed for. But I mean, you could doctor this up to be more your style or more the look that you prefer. And then I'm going to cut out 4 of the cats from the Tim Holtz Mischievous cats. It's just mischievous. I call it mischievous cats because that's what it is. But it's just mischievous die set. And I'm going to cut them out 3 times each, them and their faces, out of black cardstock. This is just so that I can layer them up and give the cats more weight against the background because the background is so vibrant and I didn't want the cats to kind of not be able to hold their own. Hopefully that kind of makes sense. And a quick side note for you guys as I die cut this stuff, I opened a PO box. So it's really exciting to me. I've had some people reach out to me in the past and ask if they could send me a card or, send me something, a letter or whatnot. And I've always been a little, leery because I don't want to give out my personal information, especially on the internet. So I came to the decision that I would try this out. So I bought a 6-month, box and we'll see if anybody actually sends anything in the next couple of months. And then if they do, then I'll renew it. But if they don't, and it's not something people are interested in, which is totally fine, I will just let it go. And that'll be, one of those things that I gave it a try and we'll see kind of what comes from it. But I do kind of like that idea too, because I do like to give giveaways sometimes and I have to put my personal address as a return address in case it gets, lost in the mail or I messed up on shipping somehow or something like that. So this just kind of gives me a little bit of peace of mind, just so that I'm not kind of, broadcasting my personal address across the internet. So that is so I'll have that in the description down below. It'll be the top link just so you guys can find it easily if you're interested. If not, no worries. I just thought it would be kind of a fun way to kind of build more of a community feel. And if you guys wanted to send a card to me, by all means, please do. But don't feel you have to. It's just kind of one of those things that, if it's something you would like to do, awesome. If not, that's totally okay too. I just wanted it to be an option in case anybody was interested. So that is there. It will be in the description down below. So here I'm going to layer up my cats and you kind of see that I'm trying really carefully not to get a whole bunch of glue seeping out. That's difficult because these cats are so thin, but like some of the areas on them, like that neck is so thin and the tail. So it's a little hard there. I do have a little bit of glue seep out, but it's not a huge deal. I usually just wipe it off my fingers and then, wipe it off on a baby wipe or whatever to get it off my hand, or I'll just wash my hands or whatever, but I don't really have any issues with it. And now you could layer up the face by putting like a piece of foam behind the faces instead of doing 3 layers like I'm going to do here. It's just that I really wanted to like kind of leave the foam out, because I find sometimes either it's thicker than I want it to be, because some foam is very thick, or it like I have to trim it funny to get it even fit the shape. So this is kind of a way to get like a chipboard-esque effect without cutting chipboard, because I don't own any chipboard, but this gives you that same like look to the cat or to whatever you're die cutting, but it's all cardstock. And those were scraps that I had left anyway. So all of the stuff that I cut out was just out of my scrap bin. So here you can kind of see how much weight this cat has so that it can stand up against the background. And then I have this stunning piece of, I think it's like a glitter cardstock. And I bought it a while ago from Michael's. I think it's a Reflections paper, but it would not die cut. And I got tired of sending it through. So I have the area there kind of marked with the die, and then I just fussy cut it out with my scissors around the circle. I'm sorry, I kind of went out of frame there. I had to get it a bit close to my face, but I wanted to know I wanted you guys to know what I was doing. And I also laid out my cats kind of how I wanted them on each of the artist trading cards, just so that I knew kind of what I was planning to do, because I wanted to add a moon to each of them, but I want each moon to be different. So I didn't want to just, cut out each moon to be the exact same. I kind of want to make them, they could almost be like a series. Like I tried to make my ATCs as if I was going to send them all to the same person, would that person feel like they got 4 different ATCs, or would they feel like they got the same one remade multiple times? You know what I mean? So I kind of try to make them look as though they would be a part of a set rather than exact copies of one another. So I'm going to do 4 different styles of moon, and I brought in my little circle, 2 of the smallest nested circle dies out of my nested circle set. I also brought in the moon from the Ghost Town set. So I used that moon and I created my own crescent moon, which is what you see me doing here. So I cut out that circle, and then I'm going to run the circle through again and give it that really nice crescent shape, which I will have to fussy cut again, of course, because whatever is on top of this cardstock, it won't cut. So I'm not totally sure what it is. It's kind of too bad because the cardstock is so pretty. But that's okay. Now I know that it just needs a lot more help if I want to die cut it, or I would alternatively use it for layering or that kind of thing. So that's okay. Now I know. So that's, whatever. It's fine. Like I don't know. They had it on sale. I think I spent like 80 cents on a 12 by 12 sheet. So it's not as if, I'm like really bummed about it. But I did create my 4 moons. You can see there that they're all slightly different to one another. Just because I wanted, like I said, it to look more like a series than I had just created the same card over and over. And not that that's a bad thing either. I kind of like to, because every once in a while I'll keep some of them in a box that I have in my crafty space here. And then I'll like randomly send one to a pen pal. And I'm always worried that I'm going to send them one that I've sent them before, you know what I mean? So, because I don't always remember everything I send to pen pals. I send them ephemera, and I send them letters and stickers and, whatever I happen to have on hand, or washi tape or whatever. Or, some months they just get the letter because I don't have, time to sit down and create these pen pal pockets and whatever. So they kind of just get whatever I have at that time. So sometimes, I don't want to be like, oh, I wonder if I sent this to so-and-so already and worry about it. Whereas if like this, if you got another one of these, they're not the same. So it wouldn't really matter. You know what I mean? So hopefully that kind of makes sense. But that's kind of what I was thinking there. And I did just adhere them down with my Barely Art glue just because it has that nice fine tip. And I find that that's really useful when I have such small areas. And these cats, it's amazing what dies do. I know that Tim Holtz talks about this, and I get where he's coming from with it. Because those such thin lines to create those cats' tails and necks and whatnot is just phenomenal. That's just so neat. And then, of course, because I'm trying to create a galaxy-esque effect, I had to add some stars. And you guys have seen me use these stars a couple of times in the last few videos just because they're so fun. I've just been having so much fun playing with them. So they do keep kind of popping up in my videos recently. But I don't know. I love shine. If you guys have been with my channel for a while, you know how much I love vibrant colors and cats and shiny things. So these ATCs were pretty much perfect for me to create, just because they kind of brought in my love of several things all together. But so here are the finished ATCs. I'd love to know what you guys think of them. I'd love to hear if you have any thoughts on anything at all, or the post box thing, or these cards specifically. I'd love to know what you guys are thinking. So leave me a comment, leave me a like, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. I do new videos every Monday and Thursday. Thank you so much, guys, and I will see you again very soon. Bye-bye for now.